Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back into the building. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of All You Can Eat Chelsea. And if you're wondering where Younes is, well, he's going to be here very, very soon. He's just I think he might be at work. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's at work meeting.
I think he's working, yes. He's going to be in maybe 15, 20 minutes, people. But until then, Miz, my brother, how are you feeling after our recent success? Finally, our first Super Cup victory since 1998.
Bro, all I gotta say is, I got a $50 bill, put your hands up. I got a $20 bill, put your hand up. Put your hand up, put your hand. Oh man, these Chelsea boys are having a mad party. I'm just seeing all these stories on Instagram, and obviously Chelsea just put out a video of them celebrating post-match with that song. And it's epic, man. It's great times to be a Chelsea fan. Look, obviously we're going to dig deep into the match, but whatever it is, I know it wasn't the most prettiest way to win it, but at the end of the day, we got the job done. What a way to start the season, Matisse. What a way. Not many, in fact, zero teams can say that they've got a title to start the season with. Like, we've got a silverware.
It's true. And for me, like, as I said before, like, it's just, we had to win that game. We could not become Villarreal victims, as this comment says. Do you know what I mean? The yellow submarines and whatnot, the way that they're a good team. Do you know what I mean? Emery, they're a good team. They know how to frustrate opposition. They know how to keep things tight. They took it all the way to penalties. And I just thought to myself, the amount of penalty shootouts we've lost, you know, back to back, over and over. I thought to myself, the game against Bayern, the Liverpool one as well, Man City, Man City one, Carabao Cup. I just thought to myself, we've lost so many penalty shootouts with this crop of players. There's no way we're gonna fumble the bag again. And we have to be real. The hero is Kepa. The hero is really Kepa. And it's funny because when the substitution was made, I was like, do you know what? That makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I think Kepa's got. I said it on my watch along. I think Kepa's got a good record. He's looking good for this shootout. He's just a lot shorter. He's like a cat, get low. And that's what happened. Like, he actually did get low and he managed to claw the ball and managed to get to it. So, I mean, it was his night, wasn't it? Because even when we won the Champions League, he wasn't really involved. And after all the troubles he's had, and again, my opinion on him doesn't change in terms of him having to long-term. He needs to find a new club because he's not going to displace Mendy, I don't think. But it was his night, wasn't it, to be the man, to be the star man? Bro,
look, as you said, there was some conversations, I think, that was happening just before that substitution was taking place. Some people were thinking, oh my God, is Kepa coming on? And I had a feeling if this was going to, penalties, that he was going to come on. Because let's face it, Matisse, we've seen Mendy. The brother doesn't dive when it comes to penalties. He just doesn't dive. And we've seen Kepa in Europa League as well, Matisse, that he's a very good shot stopper when it comes to penalties. He's done that for us in the Europa League. And I wasn't surprised one bit. He looked so confident, man. He came on, he was just running into the pitch, and then he had his hands up. He's doing these ones. He's going up to the players and chirping in their ears as well. And he was making the right dives. Like, he probably should have saved another one as well. And I don't know if you remember, just before the penalty shoot, someone had like an iPad in front of him showing where the players are possibly going to hit their penalties. Like the one that he saved right at the end, Raul Albiol's one. It literally just came, like, he dived and he just, it looked like he just knew. He knew where Raul Albiol was going to hit it, man. I'm so happy for Kepa, honestly. I know he has deficiencies. We all know that. But he's gone through a lot of mental stress as well, man. He's gone through a lot of mental stuff. I'm glad that at least he can, enjoy this moment. You know what I mean, Matisse? Like, enjoy the good times, brother. Enjoy the good times.
100%. You're spot on. Obviously, he released that article, didn't he? Getting to know me a lot better. Spoke of his struggles and some of his highs and lows throughout his career in terms of his move from Athletic Bilbao to Chelsea. And it was just one of those things where when he came onto the pitch, when it comes to penalties, you do have that extra confidence when he's in goal, because he just takes that responsibility on himself, where he's like, no, I have to save this. And he got, like you said, he got really close to one of them. He was inches away from getting there. It was just doing the watch along and watching it while it was all happening, unfolding. It was just madness, because it was just too. I remember they took Man United. It was 11-10 in the win in the Europa League. So I was thinking that in the back of my mind. I was like, if these brothers take us 11-10, if they take us that far, I don't know like what Zuma's going to be like with a penalty, or Christensen's going to be like with a penalty, or Trevor's going to be like with a penalty. I'm thinking to myself, yo, these guys are good at penalties, you know, from what we saw last time, 11-10, that is ridiculous. So that's what was going through my mind. And I was just like, please don't let it go that far.
Some of our pens were, besides Havertz's one, the rest were quite clean. Rudiger's penalty was quite nice.
Havertz looked really tired, don't you think, when he took that?
Bro, 120 minutes. So early in the season, it's not like he played. I don't think he played against Bournemouth. So he came against Arsenal, played against Spurs, and this was 120 minutes. So kudos to him to be able to play that long. But he definitely did look tired. I'm pretty sure if he was to take that one more time, where he's a little bit more fresher, we'll see a better technique. But besides that, some very, very clean. Mason Mount hit a very good penalty. I was getting worried when he stepped up.
Really? Was you worried? I think I've always known Mason Mount's technique with penalties is very good. He scored that one against Man United with Derby, isn't it?
I got worried because of the Spurs recently last season.
Yes, I did mention that. Yeah.
So I was like, I hope you can get this out of your system. And boy, he did excellently with that. Man, Azpilicueta penalty was brilliant as well. Just really
always is though. Azpilicueta's penalties are always like, he's very underrated from the spot, and it's very weird because you don't really see him as like an incredible crosser, an incredible like shooter, or any of these things. But when it comes to penalties, that brother, and he goes the same side every time. I think the goalkeeper studied him, and he knew he was going that way. He still couldn't stop it. He always goes the same way.
You can't stop that. That literally is as close as you can get to the side netting. Like, your hands would have to be massive. Do you know what I mean? So, man, that's perfect, man. I'm so glad it turned out the way it did, man.
How good was it seeing the images afterwards with the celebrations and all of the
wild?
Again, just, do you know what it was? Yeah, it was like a flashback of the Champions League, because they was all going up to get their medals again, and the medals look exactly the same. And it's a European night again. And all the pictures afterwards, and everybody's going nuts. It was basically like watching the Champions League final win again with the celebrations. It was brilliant.
Bro, Reece James, I remember Kepa made the final save against Real Albiol, and then he picked up the ball and he just smashed it off, and the whole team came rushing towards Kepa, and Reece James in front of the Yellow Submarine fan base, he was like, had his jersey, and he's like, full in your face. I love the fact that even players that weren't participating in the match, the unity of this team that Thomas Tuchel's creating, the mentality, the winning mentality that is seeping into this team is immense, man. And obviously we've got the Club World Cup coming up, which is going to be fantastic. I mean, there's some fantastic stories. I know we're going to dive deep into it. But Trevoh Chalobah, I mean, Matisse, the guy comes into Chelsea,
120 minutes.
Impresses Tuchel a lot, gets the opportunity to start 120 minutes, turned out to be one of our best players on the night.
Who ended up getting man of the match in the end? Was it him, or? Because it should have, for me, I think everybody in my chat when I was doing the watch along, they all decided that it was him that should have got man of the match in the end.
I don't know who got it, but I've got a big shout for Rudiger as well, man. I thought Rudiger was immense. But Trevoh Chalobah gets himself a Super Cup medal. I mean, could there be a finer story than that? Like, that's
after the preseason he's had. Like, he's been so good in preseason, and for him to just turn up and just get a performance like that in a game of that magnitude, because I think that was his debut. I wasn't sure if it was his debut or not, because I didn't know if he played a Carabao Cup against Grimsby or any of that. But
as in Chelsea debut?
I think it could have been his Chelsea debut. Yeah, I think it could have been
live chat.
Like his competitive debut. I'm not sure though. That's the thing. I'm not sure if it was his actual because under Lampard's first season, we gave Mark Gurhey a game against Grimsby. We played Andrew in, so I don't know if he featured in that. I don't think I remember him.
I don't
featuring
think he was there.
No,
I don't think he was there.
Someone said competitive debut. Someone said competitive debut, but it's certainly it was. But it's certainly his first big game, if even still, his first high pressure game, and just passed with flying colours.
There's a reason why Thomas Tuchel likes this guy, man. I think, there's some quotes flying around that next season, Thomas Tuchel sees him being promoted into the first team. So we better have a good eye on him. He looks like a physical beast as well, quick. And that second half, there were times where he saved our backside. Trevoh Chalobah saved our backside, honestly. Yeah, there were moments where he kind of, screwed up a little bit, but that's fine. That happens on a match, and he's a young player. But there were several moments where he saved us, man. I'm so happy that he can celebrate with the Super Cup, man. So amazing, man.
He only made that one error where he just tried to shield the ball and he didn't quite get rid of it.
That's
and
then
ended up turning into a turnover, and then he scored. But apart from that, he was flawless. And I think that really just comes down to a lack of experience, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I think that just comes down to a lack of experience. That's him trying to maybe do something that he would have done in the youth team, or, when he's, maybe in a game where he's a little bit more, his stature is a little bit more imposing on an opposition player. But there he kind of got a little bit bullied. But apart from that, he was absolutely flawless. And I mean, it's incredible, right? Because you think about it, we lost Gurhey, we lost this, we lost that, all of these young defenders going out the door. And it just goes to show the conveyor belt is strong. Nobody was really talking about Trevor's loan from Lorient in France. No one was really talking about him potentially making the first team. All the hype was on Mark Gurhey. All the attention was on Mark Gurhey. He was in my six when I spoke about Billy Gilmore replacements in a video a few months ago. But he wasn't getting a lot of hype. He wasn't getting too much attention. And then bang, next thing you know, I'm starting to see people saying, potentially, we don't need Koundé. Potentially, they don't want to sign Koundé. I mean, what's your opinion of this situation now? Because it's difficult, isn't it? Because he is young. And obviously, when Silva comes back, Christensen comes back, Reece James comes back, all these guys, is he going to get enough game time where Younes is coming, guys? I said at the start, Younes is running a bit late because he's working, but he's going to be here maybe in about a few minutes. When it comes to his position, where do you see him this season now? Would you rather loan him or would you rather keep him now?
Bro, you know what? It's honestly a good question now. It's something to think about. But here's my logic around it, right? That right side Matisse is still, it can be so much more. Do you know what I mean? It's not explosive enough. Even with Trevoh Chalobah, and this is not having a go at him at all. He was playing it safe at times from the right side. And that's fine. He was probably instructed to play safe. We do need a blockbuster RCB that can do similar things like what Rudy does on LC. Rudiger, the way he goes on a gallop like that. Oh my God.
It's true. It's true.
Honestly, underrated ball player, Rudiger. From that left side, he's
played some really good passes as well to Alonso in the first half. Found Alonso really well in behind.
Yeah, I mean, very much an underrated ball player. Finds those diagonal balls either side, either Callum Hudson-Odoi or Alonso. Sometimes when he doesn't see any option, he'll dart straight through the middle and he'll drive through and then he'll pass. He's now starting to take shots as well from long range.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a similar purchase like that on the right side as well? And I think that's what Jules Koundé will give us, because Jules Koundé's stats are off a midfielder's stats. His dribbling stats are like one of the highest in La Liga, in levels of midfielders. His passing stats are very much reminiscent of a midfielder as well. So, I can understand why Thomas Tuchel wants someone like him, because it will just electrify the right side. But that's fine. That's okay. We let Chalobah go on loan for one more season. He kills it. Next season, you have the likes of Thiago Silva, perhaps Azpilicueta, maybe moving on. So there will be space. There will be space. So
do you know what it is with Trevoh is that last year at Lorient, he played so many positions. He played in a back three. He played in midfield. He played DM. He played actually just a little bit ahead of the DM sometimes. In a 3-man midfield, he played in a double pivot.
Right.
So Trevoh Chalobah, despite playing in defence, which has been a bit surprising, to be honest, because when you think about our pressing needs, it's actually in midfield. It's that fourth choice. If potentially Tuchel sees him as that fourth midfielder, which he hasn't used him there yet, so I'm a little bit pessimistic on whether that's the case. He could potentially be that fourth choice midfielder if we don't find the purchase for a Tchouaméni. However, he hasn't been used there. So that's where my doubts become. Yes, I know he can play midfield and play it very well, but because he hasn't been used in midfield, I'm not too sure. But I agree with you 100%. Jules Koundé and Trevoh Chalobah's profiles are not the same. And we do need something down that right-hand side. You know, I'm not going to forget what the pressing need is down that side. It's still not for me. There's still things missing. You know, even Hudson-Odoi last night, I think he could have been better. You know, he could have been better and more, just a little bit more. He's missing something in his game in terms of being that effective. When you're talking about Hakimi at right wing back, you're talking about someone that is effective, someone that is either scoring goals or assisting goals in the final third. Is just way more crucial. And look, Hudson-Odoi at times can be very decisive in the final third, but last night I thought he could have been a little bit more decisive. We just need that extra oomph on down that right hand side. It's just not, like you said with Rudiger, it's not the same down the other side. And I wouldn't say Trevor's going to be that guy at the right side centre back position. He's not going to be what Jules Koundé would be. He played in the middle actually quite a bit in pre-season as well, and he played very well there. So unless he's going to be given that fourth choice in midfield, I do still expect him to go out on loan.
And you know what, Matisse? I think Chelsea's looking for a loan move for him to play as a centre back as well, somewhere in the middle. Yeah. So, and the transition from being a deep midfielder, more of a sitter, and a CB is not too much of a difference. You could make that transition. So Chelsea's probably penciling him down as a centre back, someone who can play in the middle. And not someone who's on the right side or the left side, where you do need to be a little bit more enterprising in those areas. But yeah, just quickly on the Callum Hudson-Odoi, man, I have to say, Matisse, these are the moments, man. These are like, I know you had a very good preseason, brother. You had a fantastic preseason. Good on you. You needed that. But it's these moments that will make Thomas Tuchel truly believe in you a lot more, to the sense that you do get that consistency of game time. This was the big stage where, had you just been able to take on your man more often enough, take them on, cut inside, go outside of them, whip in those cross. It's just, I missed that on that right side, man. I really did. So we'll see what happens. I think he will start against Crystal Palace, probably as a right wing back again.
Yeah.
But he's got to take the game on, man. I want him to be bold. I really do. I want him to, really, really give nightmares to the opposition. That's what I want him to do, man. I hope he does.
Yeah, that's what we need, but we need it on a consistent basis. Do you know what I mean? And Palace is a very good opportunity for him, because Reece James, I would assume, will be back after that. He will be back playing and back, fully fit. I think they've got a game behind closed doors just after the Palace game, and that's where you'll see potentially Reece James come in and, against Arsenal maybe, and start to play, I think, the following weekend. So that's where Reece James comes into it. If Hudson-Odoi doesn't ramp up, just that, he needs to just add them levels to his game, where in the final third he's just unstoppable.
Let me ask you one question, Matisse, because it was brought up on my review yesterday, is that we've got such immense competition up front. I feel like if Callum doesn't really tie up that right wing-back position, do you feel he gets minutes up front?
It depends, because I've said it before,
around the corner.
There's so much competition for those two spots behind Lukaku, because that's who's going to play up front, right? Lukaku's going to start. And then, you've got Werner, you've got Mount, you've got Kai, you've got Ziyech is in great form, but he obviously just picked up the injury, which we're going to get onto in a minute. Pulisic, I wasn't impressed with him either when he came on. I thought he just didn't give us enough. Didn't give us enough at all. These two, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic, big seasons for them. Big seasons for them. I've said it already. big season for Ziyech as well, but Ziyech has started very well. It's just very annoying that he's picked up that injury. Very, very annoying. He's picked up that injury. He had a great pre-season. Staying fit was the key, because obviously that's what happened last summer. And then he goes and picks up that injury. But, you know, I can see a lot of people, you know, saying in the chat, this is why, you know, Tuchel wanted Adama Traore, etc. Look, I'm not going to be reacting to one game when it comes to this. I've said what I said on Traore. I'm personally not interested in Traore for many, many reasons. Hakimi was a whole nother level, and that's why I wanted Hakimi. But I'm not going to go down the second and the third and the fourth choice. It's just not going to happen. I've seen us sign players of Traore's level before.
And they're still here.
Yeah, and they're still here. And the thing is that, you know, outside of the formation that we're currently playing, I don't see Traore being useful outside of this formation, where someone like Hakimi or someone like, you know, other players, they can fit into other formations, and it's not as systematic, that their game is not so reliant on the system. So no, I'm still not personally going to be shifting on that one. But I mean, what did you make of Pulisic's impact? Because Kai obviously played the whole 120 minutes. Yeah. And then you see Pulisic come into the frame, Mount come into the frame. Mount again. I mean, look, Mount's first game. I'm not sure how many minutes Pulisic got in pre-season, but they're definitely not at the pace yet. They're not at the races yet.
Yeah, no. Mount's definitely not at the races as yet. Hopefully Mount comes back as the season progresses. He's going to come back into fitness. But Pulisic, man, look, I get so much hate, Matisse. I know you do as well. In the timeline the other day, you made a simple joke about it, and you had your head ripped off because you said something different. Younes, how you doing, my man? The Don is here. Don Younes is here.
Oh my God!
Another trophy, people. Another trophy.
It's beautiful.
We just deal with trophies here. We just deal with trophies. Maybe next week we'll get another trophy.
I think all my thumbnails this season are just going to be me in sunglasses, because I'm feeling like it right now. I really can't really do anything else other than that. I feel like I need to be in sunglasses all the time. I just got that type of arrogance about me right now.
Absolutely, man.
It can't be stopped.
Absolutely. But yeah, going back to that Pulisic thing, Matisse. Yeah, man. I mean, I get so much hate. I know you got hate recently from your tweet, which was just a bit of a joke, but they wanted to rip your head off because you said something remotely negative.
People that don't understand sarcasm, hyperbole, just unfollow me, honestly.
Hyperbole.
Honestly, I can't be asked. It was the tweet was such I couldn't have made it clearer. You know, with me, I like to make it obvious for people, because I like to spoon feed them. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. When I say sell Cobham at the start, if you don't understand from that moment that everything from that moment is hyperbole, then you've got serious issues. For real. For real. Rename Stamford Bridge Microsoft Bridge. Really? Come on now. And by the way, it's Leo Messi. Anybody's getting stripped of the 10. I mean, obviously, PSG, Neymar, they you know, Messi's, you know, kind enough to say, I'm not gonna come in here and turf you, and I'm gonna take the 30. But it's Leo Messi. From a shirt sale perspective, you strip anybody of that 10 and you give Messi the 10 if you're a smart businessman. So yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, Go on.
Apparently, Neymar did offer the 10, and Messi was like, "No, it's okay.
Yeah,
you can keep it." So yeah, it's just a good gesture.
Yeah,
those shirts sold out in less than a minute. I don't know if you realize it went on sale at 10 p.m. It was sold out by 10 p.m.
That is ridiculous.
Younes, the Paris-based journalists were screaming Messi's name like that. That's how mad. That's how mad that situation is over there. So
can you imagine Matt Law in a press conference shouting out Rudiger's name?
Lukaku. Oh, Rudiger.
I don't think that will be happening for some strange reason.
Yeah, he'll be saying Rudiger out, if anything. But yeah, the whole Christian Pulisic thing, man. Look, all I want from him now is to stay fit and build that fitness. But at the same time, I do want to see some end product. We got to remember, this guy is one of our attacking players that we rely on to do really well.
Yeah.
This was a particular match where Ziyech was the only attacking threat that we had in terms of creating or scoring. And as soon as Ziyech was gone, the next best attacking threat became Alonso. And you don't want to have that. Do you know what I mean? So Pulisic came in.
Alonso had a really good first half, I have to say.
Yeah, he did. That ball that he provided for Havertz was brilliant. That led to a goal. Pulisic comes on. Fantastic opportunity for him to really mark his position. And the whole game, I can't remember where he did anything substantial. Yes, he had that opportunity where he was a bit imbalanced in the extra time or just before extra time.
Just past the post, isn't it?
Yeah, and then there was another time where he dribbled past a few and then he took a shot and I think he hit Alonso where he probably could have laid it off to Azpilicueta. We've said it many a times on this channel as well, Matisse. It's that lift your head up. Lift your head up. Don't dribble with your head down. You'll be just looking at grass. You're not looking at anything upstairs. Do you know what I mean? Lift your head up. See, look, you're quick. You can get past. You've got good ball control, and
This is a serious issue in his game. Is that he is always dribbling with his head down. You can see it visually. You can actually watch him doing it. And when your head is down, you're right. You can't pick out a pass, or you can't see your options around you, and it happens way too often.
You're looking at.
It happened. Yeah. It happened when he tried to replicate the Real Madrid goal but it was never really on because he had too many bodies in front of him. He just kept dribbling. And then the attack fizzled out. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, it's a big season for him, man. I don't know if he's going to start against Crystal Palace. I don't think he will. He may, I don't know. But if he does get an opportunity, whether it be starting or coming off the bench, impact. Pulisic, you need to provide impact because if you don't, you're going to be forgotten. You will literally going to get forgotten.
He's under huge pressure this season because that place in that the position that he's fighting for is highly congested, and if you don't perform, you can find yourself not racking up any minutes this season easily. But start of the season, a lot of these guys are really only playing their first few minutes. The players that came on, Mount, Christensen, Jorginho obviously made an error. Maybe he didn't track his runner for the goal. He could have been better there. So I'm not going to be too hard on them because it is really pre-season still for a lot of them, for many of them. And they're going to need time to get their minutes up. But Palace is just around the corner and it's a massive shame that Hakim Ziyech is not going to be involved. I mean, anybody, I don't know, Younes, what was your reaction when that happened in your watch along? Because I absolutely lost my shit.
Mate, when I saw him down, I was just like, oh no. Because then the camera panned to his face and you could see his mouth just wide open. And I was like, oh my God, he's in a lot of pain. This doesn't look good. And then they showed the replay and I'm thinking, what happened? Because he didn't land. He was just like, his arm was, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just, I don't get how you do something there. Like, I don't know, but he went down. He was in pain. I hope it's not dislocated. I don't think it is because he came off the pitch and he looked okay. I mean, yeah, his arm was in a sling, but he looked okay. If your arm's dislocated, you're in pain. You're going to be screaming. So unless if it popped back in, or if there's a strain or a ligament issue, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it's such a shame because his preseason was phenomenal. Yesterday, he was phenomenal. And then he had to come off like that. And now he doesn't start the season. I'm hoping it's a case of maybe 2-3 weeks tops and nothing more. Fingers crossed. We'll wait and see. If it's any longer than that, then it's just really unfortunate. But I wasn't happy. Pulisic came on. Thankfully, we got the players. And this is the beautiful thing about our depth. But yeah, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy in terms of how we've been playing in preseason, man. Ziyech has been the star man. So sad.
It's a shame because he's the only one that's really been here for the majority of the preseason in terms of many of the attackers. Obviously, Kai and Werner came back with the German team as well. But Ziyech has been far and away the best attacker in preseason. It's not even been close. And the rest of them are coming back late, either from internationals or, Gold Cup or whatever they've all been at, Euros. So he's the one that was actually ready for the Palace game to set things alight. He's been, he's been taking off shots from outside the box, which I've loved because I've been crying out for him to take more shots from outside the box because he can shoot. He's been creating chances. I think in terms of key passes, he he made up 3 out of the 4 key passes or something in the game, or 4 out of the 5 key passes. I can't remember exactly what it was. After he came off, the key passes statistics just dropped rapidly. So it's going to be interesting to see what solution we find for the game against Palace, because like I said, no one else in that attack really looked good. I mean, Miz, what do you make of it all? Because it's annoying for him, isn't it?
It's your boy.
I was devastated, man. I was so devastated. Like, the game started, I even tweeted out, I said it from the get-go, Ziyech, man of the match. Put it down straight up. Like, I'll put my house down that he's going to be man of the match. Because I saw the whole Chelsea team. There was one standout creator and one guy who was probably capable of scoring those goals as well. So I knew if we were going to win, it was going to be heavily reliant on Hakim Ziyech. And then, you know, we get the goal, brilliant movement into the box. You know, it's not a coincidence. We've now seen him do that against Atletico Madrid. We've seen him do that against Man City. We've now seen it again. Same sort of movement, comes into the middle of the box and gets that cutback and puts that goal away. And then even after that, a couple of set pieces where he could have got an assist. There was another one where he put a first-time pass to Alonso, and Alonso hit it and ended up being a really good save from the keeper. So that could have been another great opportunity. Oh, man. I think there was a defender right in front of him when they jumped, and it might have been the slightest of touch that got him from the defender. That's what I noticed. But I didn't know if that was big enough to get a shoulder dislocation.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw him stay on the ground for too long, I was just like, no. God, that's not fair. Honestly, God, that's not fair. That is not fair. The man has put in so much hard work in this preseason.
Yeah.
And he was the standout guy in the preseason. And this is what I want to say to the fan base, guys. He's probably not going to be around for next couple of weeks. And I don't want this fan base to forget this player, because what happens is out of sight, out of mind. And before you know it, all of a sudden, Ziyech can't make back into this team. You clearly can see one of the biggest creators in this team is Hakim Ziyech. Let's not kid around ourselves. He's one of the biggest creators in terms of different, you know, that different quality. Yes, you can say Mason Mount can create as well, but Mason just doesn't have that X factor that Hakim does. Hakim Ziyech could be out of the game all game, but he'll have that one moment that will just split things open. And I'm not having a go on Mason. Mason will play a lot of games, but it's not at that Hakim's level in terms of that unbelievable extraterrestrial quality. Do you know what I mean? Out of this world quality. So I beg to the whole fan base and to 900 people that are watching here, please be patient with Hakim Ziyech. Don't forget about him. When he does get fit, hopefully he gets back into the team, because the last thing I want is, once again, an inconsistent season, and then at the end of the season, let's sell Hakim Ziyech. He doesn't deserve to be. You can clearly see we need a player like him. We really do.
100%. But I have to say as well, it's up to Hakim Ziyech as well when he gets back to be consistent, because he started well. He started well, but I'm not going to forget that he has been frustrating at times as well when he's been given the ball away, or he's been, you know, not really putting in the hard yards as well. So I think, you know, none of the attackers are guaranteed starters from last season, from what I saw. And the only reason, the only player that was looking like a guaranteed starter coming into the start of the season was Ziyech, because of the form that he put in at pre-season. But it's only a couple of games. You know, it's just annoying that I'm not going to be able to see him against Palace, against Arsenal, and see him actually now deliver consistently in the Premier League at the start of the season. I mean, Younes, before you got here, we was talking about Koundé and we was talking about Trevoh Chalobah, because that performance that he put in, I don't know who got confirmation of man the match, but my God, was Trevoh Chalobah having a serious performance out there. 120 minutes on his competitive debut. I mean, what's your take on this whole situation with him and Koundé now, in terms of who we should be going for?
It's a spanner now, isn't it? A spanner in the works, man. This is crazy. I didn't expect that. Man of the match, easy. I remember I said it during the game. Like every time he made a challenge, I was just like, Chalobah, yes, Chalobah. And then it happens again 2 minutes later. And then it happens again 2 minutes later. And I'm just like, this guy's unbelievable. No, honestly, with Koundé, it's difficult because even with Zuma's situation, if Zuma goes out on loan, not loan, if we sell Zuma, then you don't send Chalobah out on loan. You don't do it. But at the same time, if Koundé's coming in, then it's a difficult situation. I read earlier this morning that apparently Chalobah will be going out on loan regardless, and he's agreed to that, and everything's fine. And it's just for him to develop even further. But my God, if we did have to rely on him, I'd take it. I'd take it all day long because he knows exactly what he's doing. You can see how cool, composed he is. He's assertive. He's strong. He's quick. His tackles are second to none. He didn't make a mistake yesterday. Not one mistake. I mean, the perfect game. So, honestly, if it came to it, and say we couldn't get a defender, Chalobah all day long. All day long. And one thing I want to pinpoint. I said this at the end of my watch long. I said this at the end of my review, and I'm going to say it here. We got rid of Tomori for 30 million. We got rid of Gurhi for 20 million. We kept Chalobah. We know what we're doing. Chelsea know what they're doing. Marina knows what she's doing. Tuchel knows what he's doing. We know what we're doing. So don't panic. Don't panic. I feel like the opportunity to sell came for those players that we knew we probably weren't going to use, but someone like Chalobah still sticking around. And now yesterday, you can see why. So don't panic, people. It's all under control.
Speaking of panic, all I can see in this chat is just pure panicking over where is Lukaku? And
right? What's going on?
I mean, my prediction was that he would be announced in the morning. I'm quite surprised to see that he isn't, but at the same time, I'm not, because at this point, it's just becoming the most drawn out thing ever. I think at this point, there's rumors of quarantining or second jabs and all this extra stuff, and I'm just like, cool. I mean, at this point, it will happen when it happens. I don't think he's going to make the Palace game from what people are potentially saying. I'm sorry, it's going to be probably Arsenal game that he makes. I don't know. So I'm just not thinking about it anymore. I mean, we just won the Super Cup anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's where my priorities lie in terms of that. Do you know what I mean? That's just where my priorities lie now in terms of my focus. But I mean,
the thing is that he's come from France. He went to Monaco.
Yeah,
and that shifted everything.
Yeah,
if he'd come from Belgium, or if he'd come from Milan straight, there wouldn't be this issue.
No, this is the issue. Yeah.
Yeah, what happens? I don't know.
But who? I don't know. I mean, but there was players that came. I mean, Romano literally just came from Atlanta, isn't it, for Tottenham, and he's fine.
Is there anyone that's come from France? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
I can't think of one.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not.
Anyone
sure.
in the chat? Let us know if there's anyone that's flown in from France and signed in England. We need
Who's that Leicester player? The Somari.
But he signed a long time ago, Somari. So he's going to be fine now. He signed way at the start of the window. Yeah, it needs to be recent.
We're talking in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, not someone said Fofana. Yeah,
someone said Fofana.
It needs to be this window, and it needs to be recent. So Varane came from Real Madrid, not France.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count. Somari is probably the only one, because that's all I'm seeing in the chat, and he came at the start of the window, so he's not going to have an issue playing in the Premier League. So yeah, that's I can see that. So yeah, in terms of the rest of the game, I mean, Younes, did I get your take on the penalty shootout? How did you get through that?
Man, flipping hell, man! I can't believe we had to do that again. I'm glad it ended the way it ended, but flipping hell, I swear, when it was going to penalties, I'm like, I can't believe we're doing this again. And
it doesn't surprise me, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie; it doesn't even surprise me anymore.
You're right, but I wasn't confident. I'm thinking the players are dead. I hope that no one with dead legs has to take a penalty. We saw Kai Havertz. That was a clear example. Why? But yeah, as it went on, the thing with penalties, and we've had this for England, Italy. We've had it for previous penalty shootouts. It seems to be the reoccurring thing. You start off bad, you win it. You know, it's not a case of starting it off good and then just going on and scoring every single one and winning it. You tend to start off bad and then you win it. For the team that starts off well, they tend to lose it. So when we miss with Kai Havertz, I was kind of thinking, you know what? I'm glad it's the first penalty. Because
same,
literally. If there's a changing point in this, it's going to shift in our favor and we'll take the momentum. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened.
In the Champions League final, isn't it? We missed the first penalty as well.
Exactly. So, when Havertz missed, I didn't want him to take a penalty. I said it in advance.
Did you not really? Okay, because
No.
he scored 100% of his penalties, so I was actually quite confident with him taking it. But he was then drained. So
he was dead. He was finished. Like his legs were not running. He wasn't running anymore. And you don't send or you don't take a penalty if you can't run anymore, because you're not going to get any power behind the shot. You're just not. No matter if your mind thinks it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. And that's exactly what happened. The penalty was weak. Yes, he picked a direction, but it was weak. Easy save for the keeper, because the keeper can have an extra second to make a decision. He knows there's not going to be any power. Everything else after that, though, was flawless, and we took it. Kepa, though.
Kepa,
72 million.
That market value continues to soar up, people. Do you know what I mean? I'm telling you, he just slapped on an extra 10 million on his price tag. As far as, well, actually not an extra. I mean, we're trying to reclaw, so we've just got an extra 10 million. He's not going to get it back to what it was before. Imagine saying he's worth like 90 million now after that. But it was good. It was a nice moment. Me and Miz was saying it was a nice moment for Kepa, because I think he needed that, didn't he? After him dropping the article, and he wasn't really a prevalent, feature. It wasn't really a key feature in the Champions League win as well. It was just nice to see him come on and play his part, because it was really just a one-off game. I think Loftus-Cheek apparently didn't even touch the trophy. There is a thing with that, with players not wanting to touch the trophy if they didn't really contribute. And I think, which is a shame that he feels like that, because I remember when the Europa League medal was robbed off of him because of that injury. So I feel like he does deserve a European trophy.
Is that true?
Well, someone was saying it. Yeah, someone was saying that he didn't really want to touch the trophy. Just walked past it. Yeah.
It's understandable.
That's strange.
If you didn't play a part, you don't really feel
connected
to it. Like it's not like Ryan Brewster, who kind of like just went mad, even though he never kicked a ball in Champions League.
I mean, Reece James and all those players didn't play that match. I mean,
but they contributed in the Champions League. They got
them to the final.
You know I mean? Like they were part of that journey.
Yeah,
Loftus-Cheek has kind of come in as a sideman, and he's just I'm here now.
But he was part of the pre-season as well under Tuchel. That's a bit too much, man. Just enjoy the moment, man. Just enjoy it. It's your club.
I'm sure he's enjoyed it. Absolutely. Like even the changing room, the dressing room celebrations, you can see like everyone's buzzing. Even he's
a fan at the end of the day as well. So of course he's got to enjoy it. But
it's just enjoying the occasion, isn't it? Really.
It's a shame though, because I want him to feel like as if he's part of it as well. Do you know what I mean? But if you didn't play any games, I can understand it. It's kind of like, it's like there's been a relay race and you're not even on the running track, and then you just start running alongside it and run past the guy that starts first and say that, yo, this is my time to shine. It's just like, not really, mate, not really. Where do you guys? Is there anything from this game, Miz, that you've taken away where it's changed your opinion of this squad going forward into the season, or how do you feel going into Palace now with this team's performance? Because it wasn't the most consistent top performance we maybe was hoping for in that game, was it? It was quite poor. Second half, we really dropped off and allowed Villarreal to get back into the game, and we were the reason we conceded. Do you know what I mean? We allowed them to come back into this.
What I got away from this game is that we've got a big game coming up against Palace where Ziyech is not around. So who's the creator? Who's going to be the creator in that particular match? Who's actually going to be pulling the strings and creating really good opportunities for us to bang in the goals? I was hoping that Lukaku was also going to be there to bang in the goals. Now, Lukaku is probably not going to make that match either. So who's going to create? Who's going to score? So, it's some big questions. And this is where I'm hoping that someone like Kai Havertz, and once again, he played 120 minutes, man. It's just...
So then playing against Palace is a tall order, isn't it?
Like, when are we playing Palace? Like in a couple of days' time, right?
Literally on Saturday. We did not. The last thing this team needed was 120 minutes of football. couple days before Palace. I can't lie.
So Thursday, Friday, 2 days to recover from 120 minutes, and then Saturday, first game of the Premier League. And let's be honest, I'm not going to take it if the fan base is saying, "Oh, but it's just the first game. It's okay." Believe me, we better be in the race from the get-go.
We better win that first game. Let me make that abundantly clear.
We've got Arsenal, I think, second up. We've got, I think, Liverpool third, or Spurs or something.
We've got Liverpool, Man City all in the first 6 fixtures, and Arsenal.
It's crazy. If you want to be in and around in the title chase,
you better win against Palace.
You've got to win these games, especially the Palace one first up.
Yeah.
If it's a draw or a loss, you know what I mean? Like Palace, they're buzzing. New manager, young team, they're going to be at us. So that's what I'm worried about, Matisse. That's what I took out of that game. As soon as Ziyech was gone, the brothers like Pulisic and Timo Werner, oh my days. It's looking peak for these people. Like, they better pull their finger out of wherever they got their finger in. Do you know what I mean? Like, pull it out and it's showtime. It is showtime.
It is showtime. It is showtime for the Tricky Blues.
Callum as well, brother. If you get the right wing back position, you need. But
do you see now why I made it abundantly clear on this show weeks ago? If we do not sign a striker, we are not winning no league title. And me were like, maybe we can get by.
Screwed.
You've lost your mind, people. If you thought this team without Lukaku was going, this team ain't winning no league title without Lukaku. Thank God that brother's come in. The amount of chances we created in that first half, balls across the box on the floor from Alonso, cutbacks, and there's nobody there. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, do you brothers not know that you have to be there? You need to be in the box to score these goals. They're not gonna tap themselves in. That ball from Alonso in the first half, anybody just tap in. Anybody who wants it, go for it, be there. But the anticipation is not there in this team. It's not there. There's nobody that's like got the experience and the know-how of natural goal scoring in this squad. Like, nobody. It doesn't exist. It's a fugazi. And Lukaku brings all of that. So just alone, I've seen people saying, "Oh, if Lukaku doesn't score against the big teams," I don't give two rats asses. Just score against the mini teams and tap in all those chances that we don't tap in. And in the big games, Tuchel can do his thing, and that will get us by, honestly. Because the amount of games we drew last season in Tuchel's second part of the season, Southampton, Leeds, Brighton, Wolves, all these draws against it wasn't the big teams, it was the small teams we were struggling against. Why? Because we can't finish. We don't take chances. So, honest to God, I'm not hearing that again in terms of like we would have been fine without a striker. It just doesn't exist.
The other thing as well with Lukaku, Matisse, he'll produce assists as well. He got 10 or 12 assists last season. 10 assists last season with 24 goals, something like that. So not only goals, he will hold up the play and he will bring in players like Havertz and Mount, whoever plays. And they'll bang in the goals as well. So, but he's not going to play against Palace. So, let's see, man. We better win, man.
The good thing about Palace is, yes, they've made loads of signings, but that's the thing. They've made loads of signings, and that's not just going to click on day one
immediately. Yeah,
and thankfully we're playing them on day one, so we can catch them out. Hey, some of our lads know Mark Gurhey as well, so that's a plus. He knows us too, though. So we'll see. But look, with the Palace game, realistically, even with the players we have, as long as we're fit, we should be winning it.
Just having a look at the Palace pre-season.
What are they done?
Go on, Matisse, with the
Chris here says Werner dragging defenders around yet again for a big game. We're going to talk about Werner, actually. I want to get their opinion because there seems to be some positive feedback on Werner in these super chats. Zulin says as well, Werner is ticking all the boxes right boxes. He is really improved, I think that it says. Let's see what else. Appreciate the super chat, guys. Thank you so much. Let me see in terms of Werner reaction, because I think it's mixed. I saw a lot of frustration during my watch along for Werner.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Here comes the frustration. There we go in the bottom of the chat now. I was like, we're starting to see what I saw really during the game. Quite surprised to see these positive comments on Werner in terms of super chat.
By the way,
Timothy
just
says
quickly,
these guys tripping.
By the way, based on
mediocrity when
yesterday,
you support Werner for running. Let's just go through these.
Palace 4 out of 5 wins in the
I don't know about Werner.
4 out of 5
pre-season. Yeah, so 1 draw and 4 wins. They beat Watford 3-1, Reading 3-1. They had a 2-2 against Charlton, Ipswich Town 1-0, and Walsall 1-0. So
all championship.
So far, none of the chat.
That's a fair amount of games. So yeah, man. Let's see what happens, man.
So far, none of the chat are really agreeing with these Werner super chats here. So interesting. Polar opposite reactions there on Werner's performance. I mean, Werner for me, I'm not that impressed. No, last night, not to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say that I'm that impressed with anyone outside of Trevoh Chalobah, Rudiger, Kepa obviously coming on. Mendy made some big saves, but even Mendy was looking very dodgy at moments. He made a few mistakes where his clearances were putting us in danger, but he managed to redeem himself with some of the saves. I thought Alonso was very, very good in the first half. I was very much giving Alonso man the match in the first half, but then second half he dropped off and he wasn't as good. The midfield, Kante, Kova, I thought Kova was weird because Kova gave the ball away a lot in terms of he was a bit slapdash in the first few minutes as he wasn't really concentrating. Maybe his fitness, I don't know. But then he played some really good passes as well. He had some really good passing range in that game, but he is short passing and his touches weren't as locked down. He was dispossessed a few times. And the front three, outside of Ziyech, I can't really say I was too impressed. So, I'm not really getting that vibe on Werner in terms of performance. Artem with the super chat here says Timo had the same amount of passes completed as possession lost. Absolute garbage. Him being fast and making runs in the end doesn't make up for the bad stuff.
I mean, look, with Werner yesterday, I'd say on the ball. I mean, there was a couple of times he'd lost the ball. I mean, on the ball, I'd say we've seen worse. He looked okay, right? My problem with him yesterday was Albiol. Albiol bullied him. Physically bullied him. Every time it was a one-on-one between him and Albiol, Albiol won that battle. And I think that's key against a big guy like Albiol. Werner can't do it. But now Lukaku is going to come in. Lukaku will definitely hold his own against a defender like Albiol. If there's a physically demanding defender there, a big tank like an Albiol, for example, Lukaku will sort him out. But Werner, man, every time he had a clash or a challenge with Albiol, he lost it. He struggled to get around. He struggled to hold his own whenever they come shoulder to shoulder. And it's just, away from him, he was doing fine. Next to him, bullied. So that was my only issue with him.
See, that's the thing, isn't it? And I said the same thing in my review as well, Younes, that Werner likes to be in a situation where he can run into a space, right? Where there's no one there. Yeah. He can run in and then maybe a one-touch hit or whatever he wants to do. But whenever it's a low block, which is what Villarreal was doing predominantly in the first half, and Werner had his back against the defender, he needs to then rely on his ball control. And that's where he gets let down massively. He looks clumsy when the ball comes to him. As you said, Raul Albiol pressures, put the pressure on him and he crumbles in those sort of situations. So, what does that say for the upcoming season in the Premier League? You're not going to get the Bundesliga kind of space on every game. You may get that against Liverpool. You may get that against Man City. I don't know, maybe. You're not going to get that against the other 17 teams that are literally going to hang back. So, there was a funny comment yesterday. Someone said to me, Timo Werner, there's a new role for him. And they said it's SC. I go, what's SC? It's called Space Creator. That's his name. I'm like, what?
Did he credit me when he said that? Because he didn't create that himself.
Oh, so you're the one who started this.
Listen, people, if you're going to take my lingo, make sure you CC me in the email. Don't be taking my shit and running away and saying, I created this, is Space Creator. I said it first. Nobody didn't say that apart from me. But yeah, Space Creator is the new name for him. I know that for a fact.
That's insane. That's insane, bro. I knew it had to be someone creative. It had to be. I should have just thought it's got to be Matisse. But that was funny, man. That was real funny.
But yeah, that is the new name for him because he's not. I can't call him a striker because a striker's meant to bang goals. I'm sorry, you have to. Your finishing's got to be better for me to be calling you a striker. A striker has to strike the ball cleanly and score goals. So until I see that, I've got to go Space Creator. Because that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? I think it's quite cool. It's quite a cool terminology. Maybe they can add that to Football Manager and they can add that as a role, a Space Creator. You know, you've got like your inverted wingers, you've got your inside forwards, you've got your registas, I think Space Creator as well. That's a new one. So yeah, but it's incredible. At the bottom of your screen, I've put the new information. Well, not new information, but I guess I'm clearing up the Lukaku situation there. Simon Phillips has tweeted that out. I think that's basically spot on.
Now I'm reading.
That's basically spot on with the current situation. It can get announced today, people. It can get announced tomorrow. At this point, it really doesn't matter because he's not going to be playing against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
That's basically what the point of that is. So I really don't mind when he's announced now. I think tomorrow would be fine because we can live, and enjoy the Super Cup today and he can be announced tomorrow. And then we can talk about Palace on Saturday. Or from a content perspective, that's fine for me.
This is a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because it's going to take a little bit of the buzz out of it. It's going to take a little bit of sting. And you don't want that for a big signing like Lukaku. It's got to be like imagine today, boom, Lukaku. But if we're waiting until Monday knowing he's here, it's like, oh, okay.
I really thought today would have been a really good day off the high of winning the Super Cup. I mean, we are super European champions. We've won it. We've won the Champions League. Now we've got the Super Cup. I thought it'd just be really, really good where the admin just goes, and more good news. And then the video drops and whatnot. You're right, man. Monday. I mean, what's Monday, man? The Premier League season would have been up and running already. There's probably a game on Monday as well. Like, Lukaku needs his own time slot. Prime time. Lukaku time. Do you know what I mean?
I know. We had Messi day. We need to get Lukaku day.
At this point, I just need him on the football pitch because I'm telling you right now, it's long. It's long. I'm telling you, it is long. In that team, they need him. They really do because they're not clinical. They're not decisive in that final third at all. They need to, and even when he comes in terms of just being decisive as well, they're going to need to make sure that they continue to be decisive with their chance creation, because that can't stop either. Let me see. There was another chat here. Big up to Chris. Really appreciate the super chat, my brother. He says, big up guys. We'll be following all channels this season. Sub to your Twitch as well. Big season ahead. We hope. We now have to win the World Cup. Facts. Big up, Chris. Really appreciate the support, man. Glad you're following the Twitch. Got a stream later on with Elizabeth to talk FPL. And yeah, I 100% agree. We need to win that World Cup. There's absolutely no excuses. That's something that we lost last time. And it doesn't come around often because you have to win a whole damn Champions League to get there. So you better make sure you take advantage when you're there and come back with that massive gold trophy and get that badge in the middle of this shirt, man. Jesus Christ. You already missed out on the stars. Like we got the Champions League edition in the mega store, which is beautiful, but I needed it on the pitch. So when we scored goals, we could point to it, but it's fine. Again, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. I mean, really at this point, I just thought that would have been a good way to go, getting that done. But now you have to get that badge in the middle. Like I need something on this shirt that makes it special. You can't have a season that we just had, winning the Champions League, now won the Super Cup, and you don't get something on this shirt, on this home shirt in these games. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. 100%. That's what I'm hoping for. Miz, how? I mean, with your channel this season, are you going to be incorporating more of those vlogs from the boys going out there as well? That looked quite cool. I saw Nishal as well last season doing his pre-match stuff as well at the bridge, which was mad as well. Yeah, nah, man, that is the thing. My whole motto has been that whatever the little bit of money that the channel is creating, I want to throw it back to the channel.
It was a massive moment for the channel where we were able to send a couple of the regulars on my channel to that Spurs game. And yeah, there's going to be more like that. We are trying to aim, hopefully, the Aston Villa game, which is at home, which is going to be hopefully a very good game. Aston Villa looking like a proper team this season with the Grealish money. And the vlogs and live reports from the game. Yeah, hopefully, man. Let's see. Because the last time I did it, literally, I've never seen that many people on my stream in one go. So the people really appreciated that. So yeah, hopefully more to see in that,
100%.
From that perspective.
Oh, I mean, now we're going. Obviously, we've won the Super Cup. I mean, Younes, where did that win rank for you in terms of achievements? Because I'm not gonna lie, you know, when the celebrations were happening, I was saying to Miz, I had flashbacks to the Champions League win because it felt like everybody was standing in the same position. I don't know why.
It did, yeah.
Azpilicueta obviously lifted it, and then to his right and to our left, I saw Reece James standing in the same place, and I was like, "Yo, this feels exactly the same as it did last time." Well, it looks the same. Obviously, it didn't feel exactly the same because it's a Super Cup, not Champions League, but it looked exactly the same. But how much is it of a relief for you that we started the season off right? Because outside of the injury and some players not playing well, we have won a cup, a proper cup, not Oxfam Shield or whatever, or Emirates Cup or Audi
Oxfam
Cup.
Shield.
We've won an actual trophy. I rate this trophy higher. We've won an actual trophy. Do you think this can help us in the Palace game, where we're potentially going to obviously be missing some key players with Lukaku and Ziyech, but are you still confident going into the Palace game?
Fully, Matt. It's the perfect way to start. Why? Because, actually, before I get into that, yeah, you're right. All the players were positioned the same. If you realize, shout out to the guy that's in charge of the music in the stadium, because he played the exact same song, Freed from Desire, that was played after the Champions League final when we won it. So
nice.
the setting was the same. Kante was still in his spot behind all the players when no one could see him. So that's another one. I don't know if Zuma or Rudiger picked him up. I don't think so. But everything was identical. The only thing that was missing as well was Azpilicueta's little jump. He didn't do the jump. I wanted to see the jump. But everything.
It's pre-season, isn't it?
It's pre-season.
I can't believe I said "in it" all my days.
Welcome. You're adapting. You're adapting.
I said that. No, delete that. I don't say
Where did that come from?
I don't know, man. Hanging out with you guys.
What is going on with you?
He's one of us now.
You guys better start saying good day, mate.
One of us.
I want to see Younes say good day, mate, right now.
Good day, mate. Do you know what? Yeah, don't even get me started. You know Kangaroo Jack? Oh my God. That film has got me really now desperate to go to Australia even more. Have you guys seen Kangaroo Jack? It's really old, to be fair. It's an old film.
I've not watched Kangaroo Jack, and I live
really
in
old.
He lives in Australia.
But every 5 minutes, the guy, because they're Americans and they go over, and every 5 minutes is like, as soon as he gets to the airport, he's going through security. He's like, "Good day, mate. Good day, mate." And he's just like, he's proper forcing it the whole time. And I'm just like, yo, I would love to go over there.
I kid you not, when you do land in Australia, you will hear a lot of "good day, mate." You will. You just will. And you may think people are forcing it. They're not. It's just the way it is, man. Like, they'll see you, just coming off from the plane and into the immigration area. "Good day, mate." Do you know what I mean? And you'll be like, "You're taking the mic."
Yeah, we'll be in stitches the whole time. Me and Matisse would be laughing outside 24 hours a day.
Facts. Honestly, I would love it. I would love it.
But no, in terms of winning this, I think it's perfect because it picks up exactly where we left off. It picks up exactly after we'd won the Champions League. We were in that buzz. Everyone had to leave and go to the Euros and do their thing or go home, have a holiday. And they've come back and they've put themselves in that setting again. Dressing room, win, trophy, buzzing, happy. And now we can just start playing games again. So it's perfect. I think it's perfect for the morale, for the buzz, for the confidence. Yeah, man. Now I honestly believe we as fans, we know we can do it. The players, I'm hoping now they believe that they can do it. We should be trying to win a treble this season. Yeah. That should be like a target, Like, let's try and win the Premier League. Let's try and retain, and let's stick a cup in there. No one's done it since Man United in '99. Why not? Let's go for it. And the Club World Cup in December, we should. So I think it's perfect.
Yeah, man.
Said really well. You said that really well. Do you know what it is with me? Yeah? I mean, some people in the live streams, I don't know if you got this in the watch along, but some people are like, why are you guys so stressed? It's only a Super Cup. Oh, like it's not that deep. It's just a game. It's just a little charity. I was like, bro, don't play with me. I want to win this game.
Yeah, exactly. And Tuchel was like that as well.
Yeah, you could Tuchel was getting very animated on the touchline. I think he got booked as well.
He got booked.
Yeah,
that referee needs to be fired.
He wasn't impressed.
Bro, has he given a yellow to Rudiger for that? Like, he got the ball. I mean, what's he meant to do? Just wrap his legs up as soon as he got the ball? Like, just chop those legs off?
I agree. The first sign of trouble was Kovacic. Do you remember when Kovacic got fouled? And the foul went against him? And he got fouled. And I'm like, what's this ref watching? You know, after the Rudiger thing, Tuchel gets booked. Before the game started, we found out he was Russian. I was like, oh, great. Romans paid him off. Fantastic. We've got the referee in our pocket. You know, we're winning this now. We're not going to lose a 4th Super Cup in a row. And all of a sudden, he starts making these decisions, mate. Look, and my chat in the watch-along was filled with no bald referees for Chelsea matches ever again.
Yeah.
There needs to be a hair requirement. There needs to be a hair requirement when selecting referees for Chelsea matches. So, yeah.
I made the very same comment. As soon as I seen he was bald, I said, "This is going to be an agenda from the get go." Because I don't know what it is with bald referees at our club. They just seem to always want to shag us. They seem to forget the rule book. They forget everything that they're meant to be doing in terms of just fair play and just abiding by the rules. And they just come on some sort of madness. I don't know what it is. It's quite incredible to me.
We need to find a referee with dreadlocks and just he refs Chelsea every game. That's what we need.
Get Snoop to ref.
We had, do you know what is so annoying?
Half sleepy, half high.
We had outstanding referees in the European Championship just gone.
Oh, beautiful.
Like unbelievable refereeing and match officiating. Like they was on point the whole time. But I feel like now with the Premier League back, that's gone now out the window. I really do. The standard of refereeing was so good. I just don't think it can be matched in the Premier League. I don't know what it is with referee, and we're not even in the Premier League yet. But I can, because we're getting closer. I feel like just that whiff of Premier League refereeing is getting back into my lungs, and I can smell it already. And we got it in the Super Cup. iTest Merchant here, appreciate the super chat. He says we have no Kante replacement. Cover is a ghost.
That's harsh.
That's a bit harsh.
That's harsh.
Yeah, that's harsh.
I think Cobb had a mixed game, didn't he?
He was very present. He wasn't a ghost, but
no, he wasn't a ghost. I noticed.
there was a last minute. He was the last guy chasing it down. Blockbuster tackle, gets it right at the end. I think it was in the extra time. Had he not done that, I think 1-on-1, the Villarreal player. So that's one. First half. Very underrated. A lot of people were not watching. He was spraying the passes diagonally to Callum and Alonso. This is the thing, guys. When you're watching the game, don't be too focused on just the ball and just what look at what are the things that the midfielders are doing off the ball as well. Younes, you'll probably agree with that, and Matisse as well. You guys both did the watch along. Yeah. How quickly did we win back the ball when we lost in the first half? We lost it.
I thought we was brilliant in the first half, honestly.
First half,
really impressed.
Counter pressing was a lot led by Kante and Kovacic.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, to say he's a ghost, what do you want from him? Like goals, assists, like that's the only. There are other facets of the game. Goals and assists needs to be looked at for the players that are up front. Yeah, I'm not saying the midfielders shouldn't do that. They should, but
of course
there are other facets of the game that you need to have a look at. And Cobb did a pretty good job. I'm not saying he had an excellent game, but just because he didn't have those blockbuster drives from midfield, that's why he's not eye-catching. It's what Sarri said the other day about Jorginho. He's a refined player. He will never catch your eye.
Yeah,
but he's so needed. Do you know what I mean?
Cobb as well, you could, I mean, not just him. This is why I didn't want to really drill into any other plays yesterday because towards the end, they were dead.
Yeah.
Everyone was shattered. Yeah. So I'll cut them some slack. But even Kovacic, I could see the end of the second half, extra time, he was tired. But 100%. Even so, you could see at the very end, the challenges that he was making and the way he was winning the ball back in the 115th minute.
Mm.
Fair play.
He played some really good passes out to Hudson-Odoi. It was actually the long range passing. I was really impressed with the long range passing from him last night. Like, that's something in his game that I've wanted him to improve on and show more of and play those killer passes. He played some really good passes. It's actually the simple stuff that he was getting wrong. First touch, being dispossessed, some short passes, gave the ball away. So he'll tidy that up. So I'm actually not too worried long term there at all. But we do need to sort out what that fourth midfielder will be, whether it will be Trevoh, who hasn't played midfield for Chelsea yet, but can play there, whether it will be a new signing, etc. But I do believe we do miss that Kante energy when he's not there, because the other players are obviously different profiles. This is why I'm actually, I didn't get to see too much of Tchouameni, but the more I learned about him and the more I got, experts coming on here to speak about him as well, the more I'm more gung-ho for it, because he just seems to cover all the profile that we're missing in this midfield. If you're talking about box to box, like, natural box to box, if you're talking about Kante's energy when he's not there, if you're talking about someone that can sit, we've only got Jorginho that can sit, someone that's a bit more physically imposing as well. He just kind of covers and he's younger as well, younger profile in comparison to the rest of them, kind of just covers all the missing ingredients. But we'll see. I mean, apparently Chelsea feel like it won't be difficult to get a deal done, which is why they've left it so late. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I think Koundé is the next priority.
The twist to that, Matisse, is Monaco just qualified for the Champions League, I think. So they played Sparta Prague, and that was meant to be a big deal. A lot of the people are saying that Monaco's really not looking to, like, we need to understand Tchouameni is actually one of Monaco's top ranked
players.
They've just made it to the Champions League, I believe, by beating Sparta Prague over 2 legs. They are now going to prepare for that particular Champions League campaign. For them to let go of someone like Tchouameni, find a replacement and whatnot, I think he may just stick around for one more season, play the Champions League with them. Don't be surprised if we go for someone like Boubacar Kamara, because he's still
from Marseille.
He's still a target, and Marseille's still buying players, and he's not looking to extend his contract. He's on his last year.
He would be very cheap.
15 million euros apparently, because he's not looking to extend the contract. So all the power is on the player at the moment, or else he'll go for free next season.
Along with a whole heap of other players that are running down their contracts in France. You've got Mbappe, you've got Camavinga, even Pogba being French as well.
And apparently Thomas Tuchel knows a lot about
he is watching that French league. Yeah, I mean, he managed PSG for a time period, isn't it? So he's going to know that French league like the back of his hand, along with the German league. I'm just glad to see that we are, exercising our options in terms of scouting around Europe and not being so fixated on in-house signings in England, where the premium English tax price is ridiculous, and just even Premier League prices is ridiculous.
Ben White.
Yeah. I mean, Ramsdale was going to cost more than Mendy if that deal had gone through. Can you imagine? Ramsdale was looking like a £24 million move to Arsenal.
30 in total.
Yeah. And how much was Mendy? 20 something? 20, low 20s?
Yeah, 28 or something. Or low 20?
No, it wasn't 28. It was lower
Maybe
than
25.
That. I think it was like 22 or something. Yeah.
Wow, bro. Wow.
BP Production says he's injured, dislocated shoulder anytime between 4 to 12 weeks. That's a very big timeline that I don't like to see, so I'm going to move that. I don't want to see no 12 weeks.
I don't want to see that as well. 12 weeks.
Test Merchant. He's bad at covering space. Need a centre DM replacement. I've said before, Kova's not a sitter. Him and Kante, neither of them are really natural sitters, which is why I've always said that that's what this team is lacking personally for me. Rodrigo is saying change formation to 3-5-2 when Mount comes in. When Mount came in. Okay, yeah. At that point, I became very much less tactical and more emotional. So I don't know what the formation was. It was all a blur. I just needed us to score. At the start of the watch along, you try to find out the team shape and you look at the formation and the tactics. You think to yourself, well, this is great. And you analyze and you speak and all that. I wasn't talking towards the end of that. I was tired. I think it was 3 hours, 30 minutes deep. I knew I had big six straight after as well. So that was always going to be mad if we'd lost. And I was really I was done talking. I had nothing else to say. Just score.
Literally.
Very simple. Just win the game.
Watch-alongs always start off with, you're analysing the detail.
Yeah.
This is the great combinations here. Look at this player go. Look at the space he's gone into. Look at this, look at that. And then, 1 hour later, you're like, just flipping score. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, Chelsea. Let's have it. Score.
First half is for analysing, second half is for crying. Or
Literally.
That's what it is. Well, people, we're going to wrap up for the show. I streamed about 6.5 hours yesterday in total with the show, the watch along, and the Big Six. Yeah. Today, I've got about 6 hours as well because I've got Byline, I've got stream on Twitch with Elizabeth, and I've got Oil Boys at 10 as well after. So we've got 2 uploads today on this channel. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm gonna take a rest while I can, and I'm gonna let the boys go. Obviously, Miz, I'm sure you've got content as well coming out today. Have you got something lined up?
Yeah. I just dropped a small clip just before we went live here on something we spoke about, Timo Werner. So if you want to check that out, go check that out. I'll probably not stream in the next few hours. I'm gonna rest as well. I want to go and have a good sleep. But maybe UK time 9 p.m. might do like a fans call-in where love to hear what the fans have to say about this particular victory, which I'm sure will ignite new discussion points. And that's pretty much it, man. And then we roll on to Crystal Palace.
Make sure you guys stay to the end if you want to know what's going on with a certain thing this season that you guys have been asking for. If you leave, then you're not going to get the information, and then you're not going to be able to join. Younes, what have you got coming out? Bro?
So today we'll see what happens. I did actually leave things free just in case the Lukaku announcement was going to happen, but now it's all up in the air. So we'll wait and see what happens. But a video will be done later regardless if it's not a double upload. Tomorrow, though, it is looking like a double upload. I think I'll stick a news video and we'll get the preview to the Chelsea Crystal Palace game in as well. So, and then Saturday we do it again. Watch along, review, standard.
Love it. Well, that's what we like to see. The links have been bashed into the description again by Victor. YouTube for Younes and Miz is in the chat, and it's also in the description, of course. For the 100 of you that were smart enough to stay to the end, when we start, I watch the numbers when we're starting to promote the channels and whatnot and let you know what the content's saying. Some people start to dip out. It's like leaving work early. You just clock out of your shift and you're like, right, I'm done here. It's fine. But for the ones that did stay, the Fantasy League is now open. That's correct. The lateness is greatness, gang. Fantasy League for the season is now open. So the code is in the description. Victor is probably going to put that in the chat. Quick copy and paste if you can, my brother. And the code is in the description. The link to join is in the description. So I'm expecting a lot of you on there, right? I've only just put it out now. So you're going to be the first ones to get in the league. I'm going to put it on Twitch later, the Twitch stream with Elizabeth. We're going to be talking FPL. We're going to be talking about some of our selections. We're going to be talking about some bargains, some new signings, the prices, etc. That's going to be on Twitch at 4 p.m. today. So make sure you go and follow the Twitch. When it comes to Palace predictions, we're going to give you that at the end of this one. We'll do a quick sweep of the boys' predictions for that. I've seen that question a few times. But yeah, the code is in the chat. I've seen a few people put the code in. If you want to put the code in for the people, definitely go and put the code in, people. But it's in the description anyway. And make sure you join. There will be, obviously, a reward for the winner. And I'm quite interested to see, first of all, how good you guys are, because I'm very good at this game. I'm not just doing this just to do. I'm telling you, I'm good at this game. I'm good at this game.
No one ever says that. So
yeah, I didn't play it last season, but the season before I won my league. I won a few of the leagues I was in, and the season before, I think as long as I stay focused throughout the whole season, I don't forget about it. I'm very good at it. It's when I forget about it, but I'm not going to forget because I've got you guys to beat. So I'm looking forward to this. This is basically the league for all of the guys that have been watching, all the subscribers, all the followers on Twitch. I'm going to be putting that on Twitch as well when we go on Twitch at 4 p.m. So they're going to be the second batch to come flying in and add themselves as well. Might put it on Twitter maybe, but I don't know. I feel like I want to keep it to the Twitch and YouTube guys, Twitter is a bit of a cesspool. The reward, we'll decide the reward. I'm definitely going to do a kit. Definitely, I think a kit is just a really nice, easy reward and something that everybody will want and like. If the channel, if I can, obviously, I'm not going to lie, I live off the content creation. I don't have another job. So this is obviously my full-time job. But if I can afford to, I'd like to do a ticket to the game, to maybe the first game of the following season for the winner as well. That's something that I would want to do. Now, obviously, it is a bit dependent on where you live and if you can actually get over and all these things as well. Unfortunately, I'm not made of that KSI money just yet, but we'll work something out. But there'll definitely be a kit. There'll definitely be a kit for the winner, and
Keith will have his own box at the bridge.
Yeah, we'll see what else we can do for it. But the code has been put in by Victor now. It's in the chat. So make sure you join. The link, if you want to just click a link, it's in the description as well. I'll see if I can copy and paste it for you now while the boys are giving their predictions. So, Miz, bro, what's your prediction for the Palace game?
2-1. Going with 2-1, man. I think Palace might score 1. Hopefully we get 2. Actually, what I'm thinking, who's going to score 2 for us? 1-0. 1-0. I just realized who's actually going to score 2.
I thought he was going to take off the Palace goal. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. 1-0 for us, man. 1-0. Because I can't think of who scores 2 for us. Kai Havertz to score 1. And yeah, just win 1-0, man. That's good enough until Lukaku comes in against Arsenal. Hopefully he can bang in 3 there. So, yeah.
Younes, what's your prediction? Link is in the chat, guys. I'm going to try and pin it if I can as well. But the link is now in the chat.
I'm going to do the head and heart thing again, yeah?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm kidding.
Oh, no. This is when you know you're not confident.
No.
The link is now pinned. So there's no excuses about not being able to find it. Link is pinned at the top of the chat now, people.
I reckon I'll go 2-0.
Right.
Not Palace either. For those of you thinking, oh, we're losing. No. 2-0 Chelsea. I don't think Palace will score, if I'm honest. I think they need to gel. And I think maybe after a few games, they might become really dangerous. But I think 2-0. I don't know who to score, but 2-0.
I'm gonna go. I had 2-0 as well, but now Ziyech is injured, and that was a big part of my. Because to be honest, for the Villarreal game, I predicted 2-0, and I said Ziyech to score, and I said Zuma to score from a Ziyech like wide free kick or a corner or whatever, and he almost did actually. Zuma, it was a wide free kick from Ziyech, and Zuma literally just smashed it over the bar. So Ziyech was a big part of my confidence going into the opening weekend in terms of goals. I'm going to stick with 2-0, but it could easily be a 1-0 or something close because no Lukaku and no Ziyech. It's not going to be easy. And especially because Kai has done the 120 minutes as well. That's what worries me.
Yeah, there'll be possibly a chance he might not even start. We'll wait and see. But no, 2-0, Kante and Rudiger to score.
Okay. Kante?
Yeah. Kante, Rudiger.
Where did that come from? And Rudiger, where did that Rudiger, I guess, from a corner. Rudiger, by the way, this season, if you could be so kind to stop taking shots from outside the box, that would be brilliant. Because I'm not going to lie to you, you're not going to score one. You're not that guy. It's like Zuma. Zuma's also not going to be able to shoot from outside the box and score. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. Do you know what I mean? Alex, top centre back at Chelsea, Brazilian. He used to hit them. And they stayed hit. Oh my goodness. When that brother shot from range, you never saw that ball again. It just broke the net. David Luiz against Fulham, similar. Yeah. You knew when that ball hit, it stayed. Some people have it. It's the Brazilians. You just don't have that sauce. Do you know what I mean? Just do you. Do you know what I mean? Just do you. Just don't.
You get that power by training on beaches every single day. You know, training on sand. That's where you get the power from.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, listen, I know people are going to clip that up if he scores, but I'm telling you, I just don't see it happening. It's just not something I see. And people are shouting for Tino Andrin as a player, maybe to play in this game. I personally, I don't know if I don't really see it, but we'll see what happens. Right. We're going to wrap up now, people. Like I said, Tom with the super chat, is it true Lukaku can't play against Palace? It is true, Tom. I think it's very likely now that he will not play against Palace. There's quarantine issues potentially. And I think his first game will probably be against Arsenal. He's not even announced yet. So yeah, it's highly unlikely he plays against Palace, to be honest. I think you can tick that off your list in terms of things that are not happening. Big up to everybody that's been watching. Make sure you subscribe, smash the likes. Make sure you join the Fantasy League pinned at the top of the chat. Like I said, Twitch, 4 p.m. I will be on with Rants, not DG. DG's not on today. I think he can't make it. So we're going to be live with Rants at 1:30, I believe. And then 10 p.m. Oil Boys with Monstar and Saj and Big Steve as well. So that's it, people. I will see you guys next time. And yeah, I look forward to seeing who's good at the fantasy league this season. Let's see. In a bit, people. Peace.